If you are watching this, then I have taken over. Game on. What's up, Gamer Nation? How you doing? This is Hud Zero, the old school gamer, and of course the Iron Heart of Xbox, and welcome to Gamers Play. I am your host, Hud Zero, the old school gamer, and of course the friend of the Gamer Nation. Welcome to my show. If this is your first time visiting my show, you are going to go in for a very exciting time because I am the one, the only one that's going to be giving you all of the gaming news without all the fluff. I'm actually a gaming enthusiast. I actually talk about everything gaming. I go into all the details and I give you everything that is unfiltered and actually unbiased. You, my friends, are actually in the right place. So, of course, I am actually doing a service for you. So, what are we going to be talking today, boys and girlies? Let's talk about something that is very, very important to me. That is, my friends, my sponsor. Right now, I cannot find it, so let's get started. Wow, what an amazing time to be a gamer. There are a lot of great things that are happening. Ghostwire Tokyo has finally came out for Xbox. It's one of Tango Gameworks games that came out for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. And it was exclusive for a short period of time and now is actually available. We have some interesting news about Sega, and turns out that someone has leaked something that they discussed a while back, talking about, I believe, their Super Games initiative. They partnered with Microsoft with their streaming Azure streaming services, and a couple of things have actually became very interesting. Let's talk about something very interesting. Let's get into the a couple of interesting games that are going to be seen in light. A couple of reboots. And I'm actually looking at these, and me being a an old school gamer, of course, and of course I love Dreamcast, and I'm also like a company called Atlas, and and Persona. This has actually turned up. This is actually very interesting. I love this. Rumored Persona 3 remake and Jet Set Radio reboot. Footage leaks. Check this out. This is actually pretty interesting. Basically footage of what appears. I mean, this is actually in courtesy of Polygon. I actually want to make sure that the right websites and of course the people who actually posted these actually get recognized. This has actually been brought up by Michael McWhorter. If I did not butcher it, I hope I did not butcher your name. They Supposed video shows unannounced Sega and Atlas games in development. Now, this is actually was leaked a while ago. This was not leaked, but there was footage. This is footage from a while ago where they actually had this one of these internal meetings, and they had like a little teaser trailer of some sorts that showed a couple images of what their future initiatives are. One of them is a game that already came out. That was Sonic Frontiers. But then, of course, there was also two games that are supposedly going to be getting a reboot in the near future. One of them is Persona 3. Persona 3, of course, if you played it for the, I believe it was the Vita, came out for the Vita, or was the PSP? Sorry, it was the PSP. Came out for the PSP back in 2010, 2011, around that time. And of course, the graphics were, kind of, for its time, it was actually ahead of its time. It was they it's called the Persona 3 Portable. Then they made a reboot. Well, not a reboot, but a reconstructed game for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And I believe it came out for Game Pass. If you have not played that game yet, give it a try because it was a great entry to the Persona saga. Of course, Persona 4 and 5 also is available on Game Pass as well. Persona 4 is actually one of the better ones out of all of them. Persona 5 is more of the stylized game. But let's not talk about all that stuff. I mean, this is not. You want to talk about the juicy stuff. It says here a new Jet Set Radio that purportedly dates back to 2021 and is said to have been shown in an internal Sega meeting. Now, I have been an advocate to the Jet Set Radio franchise. Jet Set Radio, they actually it came out for the Sega Dreamcast back in 1999 2000s. Was a stylized cell shaded game, which with an amazing soundtrack, and of course, was ahead of its time. It was based with the graffiti, and of course the cast of characters, and of course you got Professor K, who is the MC, who's been spitting a lot of information into your ear, so to speak. And then, of course, the sequel, which actually was an Xbox exclusive, Jet Set Radio Future, which has not received no new ports, no PC ports, no nothing. It was an Xbox exclusive, didn't come out for any other consoles. Well, rumor has it that Jet Set Radio may be getting some sort of reboot, not a sequel, a reboot. So they are actually looking at updating the most likely. It says update. This is an update. Special thanks to anonymous user DM for this. This is so this is actually this footage. Let's go into further detail. This is right here. It says further reporting the validity of the footage is never before seen video of Sega's reported reboot Jet Set Radio in action. Now what it does is shows Beat actually dancing on the streets of Shibuya or Tokyoto. And surrounded by graffiti cop cars. If you haven't seen that footage yet, go ahead and take a gander. I think there's some leaked footage around. You might be able to look at it. I'm not going to put it on my channel because I don't want to risk getting it taken down or anything like that or demonetized. But this is kind of legit. This was actually another. I think also Crazy Taxi was another one that's going to be getting some type of reboot or remaster of some sort. And then of course it shows here by the username Andres L 1997. They actually, he actually posted something on Twitter. Shows some renditions of some sort of Gum, Beat, and what was the third character's name? Oh my goodness gracious! Gum, Beat, and Combo. So as you could tell, you could see Combo here. You can see Combo here. You see Gum here, and then of course you see Beat in the middle. Of course, some people didn't like the design of what Gum looks like, but this is only like early renditions. Right now, they're fooling around with some of the renditions over here, as you can tell, of the cell shading. They're playing around with which ones they want to use. Personally, I actually like the second one. The second one actually keeps with the original design. It keeps the aesthetic, so the characters are more, the main focus, and it's closer to the original design. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like the fact that they kind of made it more like shadow, it's more shadows, more cast shadows, and kind of utilizes the power of the current generation consoles. And of course the lighting, which you could tell right there, on the bottom, the lighting, there's probably going to be some ray tracing, and of course soundtrack is going to probably be amazing. Now let's get into more of the nitty gritty of some sorts. What these games are supposed to represent is the initiative of their Super Games project. Now, the Super Games project, which I actually want to get into, is more of the let's just say there's an initiative, so to speak. Okay, let's just put it to that way. They want to make it more of a open world, like a living world type of game, almost like Phantasy Star Online, where they actually have a huge hub. You can be able to go anywhere you want to, whatever it is. Then of course you could be able to get new outfits or whatever, and maybe customize your own character. I don't know what it means. More multiplayer focused. Me personally, I mean, I don't care. I just want a new Jet Set Radio, but I'm also cautiously optimistic. The way that I see the games, like for instance, I think that that games are more in tune with getting people more involved, keep players coming back, maybe even adding a new soundtrack. I mean, think about this. A lot of problems which has happened recently, such as Quantum Break. Look what happened to Quantum Break. Quantum Break actually got taken out of Game Pass just recently. Why? Well, due to licensing. There's licensing the music, maybe to some of the characters. With this having this is a double-edged sword. People don't like live services. I get it. I really don't. I mean, I don't like live services also because I feel like my games are not my games. Now, hear me out. This is actually an unpopular opinion. What if a game, any game, I don't care, single player, multiplayer, whatever it is. What if a game that you actually get or actually own, right? They add new content, make the game longer, better, whatever it is. And because everyone actually feels like if they play a certain game, they just you play the game to its entirety, right? And then you're done with it. You just move on to the next game. Now, but what if you want to go back to the game? Do you really want to go through it all over again? I mean, there are games that you would want to play over and over again, but once you actually know every single secret, once you know every single nook and cranny, every single case, every single chest that you've opened, every single secret passageway, every single secret boss, and then the game just becomes a paperweight. It just sits on your shelf. Look at my relic on my wall. I have a game that is now a coaster. What if you can actually have a game that, that updates, just something new happens. I mean, look, most of the games that came out that actually got remastered or actually rebooted. Look at games like the backwards compatible games that came out for the Xbox. They got updated. They're faster. They're running 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second in some cases. With rebooted gameplay. The gameplay got better. Whatever it is, what about what's another good example? Crazy Taxi. I mean, Crazy Taxi has the original soundtrack. People love the soundtrack by Offspring. But guess what? When the game actually came out for the PC, I believe it was a few years later, they took the soundtrack out and they put this new generic soundtrack that no one really liked. It didn't feel like Crazy Taxi because the soundtrack was different. I mean, yeah, granted, it was Crazy Taxi, but it wasn't the same. Not only that, it didn't have any of the franchises. For instance, there was no Burger King. There was no Kentucky Fried Chicken. There was no Nike. Oh, it wasn't Nike store. What was it? Not Fila. Yeah, there was a few other popular stores that was actually in the game got taken out. Why? Licensing. It has everything to do with licensing. So having a game that is more of a live service, in some sense, actually makes the game have the ability to keep up with it. In other words, they will be able to afford it because people are actually buying the cosmetics or they're buying new ink. Like if you have graffiti artists out there that actually have the talent that creates graffiti, you can be able to download their graffiti and be able to spray it on the walls as you're going through Tokyoto or Rokoku Tokyoto and Shibuya, and Kyoto. I mean, look, that the possibilities are endless. And you can be able to customize your own character, get new outfits. What if you want different color skates? What if you want different color blazing? Like for instance, in Jet Set Radio Future, you have like blazing those blazing effects that you could be able to with on your sneakers and stuff like that. Pretty damn wild, right? I think it's a great idea. Some people like it, some people don't. What makes you think that that people are going to not not like it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what your opinion is when it comes down to that, but I have a feeling that this is an opportunity that everybody should take, right? So this is exciting. I like it. Tell me what your thoughts are. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. But right now, I want to. Let's have our first commercial break. I will be right back.
Welcome to the theater of the eye. 500,000 polygons a second. 16 million colors. Wreak some havoc in your head.
Say, sir.
A bear, barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him stronger, faster, softer, better. The new battle tanks, Global Assault. Stronger, faster, better.
And we are back. What's going on? Well, I have a new topic for you. And it's actually very interesting because Nintendo is deciding to, let's just say Nintendo is actually marching to the beat of their own drum, so to speak, right? So let's talk about Nintendo Live. That's right, Nintendo is going to have their own live event here in, I believe, in September in Seattle, Washington. Check this out, and it says it's an all ages celebration of Nintendo fun. Wow. Now let me tell you something. I mean, ever since E3 kind of went to the wayside, I had a feeling that everyone was going to kind of do their own thing. But this is all the way in Seattle. I don't know if I really want to travel all the way to Seattle just to go to an awesome Nintendo event with a whole bunch of fans and all and meet and greets and stuff like that. And they said they're gonna have, check this out, some of the events they're going to be having. They're going to share the excitement of playing games together, enjoy live stage performances. That means they're probably going to have musicians and what have you, and more across a large scale themed area. Whether you and your family are new to the games, characters, and worlds of Nintendo, or are lifelong fans, everyone is welcome to have fun. And then they're gonna have games. It says have a blast, play together with popular Nintendo Switch games, play familiar favorites at your own pace, jump into friendly competitions together, or try something new. Of course, you have a live stage. You can bring your energy and enjoy the live stage performances, thrilling competitions, and more. Now, competitions, that's actually up my alley. I have a feeling they're probably going to have Smash Brothers tournaments, maybe even some Mario Kart. I have a feeling they're going to do some Mario Kart. Maybe even some, what do you call it, Splatoon. So they're going to probably have Splatoon tournaments. You never know. Then, of course, you have photo ops and, of course, tournaments. Now, the tournaments, once again, I think that's right up my alley. Right now, it says more information coming soon. Me personally, I'm actually looking forward to going to something like that. I mean, I had a feeling that all the companies are going to be having their own event. Sony also is going to have, I believe, a state of play, I believe on the 13th, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually tomorrow. No, the 13th. I'm sorry, that's Thursday. I forgot what time. Let me see if I can look that up. Yeah, let me see if I can look that up. I believe. Let's see. State of play. I think. Let's see. Oh yes, April 13th. What time? What day? Okay. Yes. Actually, it's going to be focused on only one game, which is Final Fantasy 16. They're really putting a big push behind that game. If you already saw some of the footage, it looks pretty impressive. I'm not that big of a action Final Fantasy type of game. I'm more into the turn-based style. Final Fantasy 15, was actually like one of the first, next to Final Fantasy 12, that actually dealt with more of a dynamic where you actually be able to move your characters around like chess pieces in a sense to come up with your next move. Final Fantasy 13 kind of tweaked it a little bit more, where you actually have these abilities that you could be able to switch on the fly depending on what the character's powers actually are, and then of course they built upon that once you become an LC. Let me see. Oh, that's right. So it's actually going to be airing on Thursday, April 16th. Okay, that's Thursday, April 16th. That's next week. Let's see. Thursday, April 16th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. That's 5 p.m. Eastern time. You can actually watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind seeing games like that. Like for instance, I don't mind going, me personally, seeing like some footage of Final Fantasy 16. They're probably gonna do a 17 or 18, 19, 20. I don't know how many Final Fantasies they're actually gonna be, but Final Fantasy, I think I pretty much ended my love for the Final Fantasy franchise after 13. 13 kind of pretty much, dampened it for me. I mean, Final Fantasy 15, I like the action. Then the Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise is, another interesting one because they teamed up with Team Ninja to make it more action oriented, which I don't mind either. But me, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like Final Fantasy anymore. It feels more of another hack and slash type of game, and I'm not looking for that. I mean, I'm looking for that down to earth, more strategic type of role playing games that I'm used to. Like for instance, Lost Odyssey, a game that actually got lost in the weaves of all the RPGs, came out for the Xbox 360, which is actually still a great game. Next to Blue Dragon, both of the games were made by Mistwalker Studios, headed by Aonobu Sakaguchi, who actually was the originator of the Final Fantasy series. Definitely worth playing a playthrough. It's the story is fantastic. The transitions between full motion video and the actual gameplay is phenomenal. I mean, next to games like what game are we referring to? Oh my goodness, the name. Ooh, why? The name will come to me. I'll actually bring it up. But it came out for the Dreamcast, and that was another amazing game that actually did the same thing. Transition between full motion video and actual gameplay. That's a technique that I actually love. Oh, actually, another game actually did do that too. Hi-Fi Rush, which is not an RPG, but it's a rhythm action game, and they did a phenomenal job with the transitions between live action or cartoon or whatever it is, animation to actual gameplay, and it's seamless and it keeps the immersion going. And actually, I love that. I love to keep you engaged. It keeps you feel like that you are actually part of the game. But I digress. I believe that right now, when it comes down to the loss of E3, which I'm still very upset about, and then of course you got Summer Game Fest coming up, and Xbox has their event. Their event is going to be interesting too. Someone leaked the runtime for the Xbox Game Studios the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. They leaked the 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 showtime, the runtime to the event, and it turns out the event is going to be about roughly 2 hours. They are going to dedicate a small chunk to Bethesda for Starfield. Starfield is going to be getting their own pretty much super reveal. So not in the same lieu as what PlayStation is doing with Final Fantasy 16. So it's going to have that same type of thing where they got explanations. It's probably going to have development video. There's probably going to have more gameplay video. I have a feeling that it's going to be a huge chunk of gameplay, which I'm really, really excited about, because Starfield is one of those games that's Todd Howard's baby. That he's been thinking about that game ever since Fallout 4, and Fallout 4 has been out for what, almost a decade and a half, 15 years. Okay, yeah, it's been a long time. So now, I think right now, we are anticipating probably what could be Xbox's biggest game yet. Next to Fable. I would say next to Fable, because everyone's been waiting on Fable. Fable is still cooking. Everyone knows that. And there's a few other games that are probably under development that they're keeping secret. We don't know what's going on with NXile. NXile has a game that's in development right now. We don't know what the game actually is. I think IO Interactive? Yeah, IO Interactive, the ones who developed the Hitman series, they are supposedly doing a, I think it's called Project Dragon. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Then of course we have Contraband. That's a game that's developed by the same ones that created, I think it was Avalanche Studios, the ones who created the Just Cause series. That's in development. Perfect Dark. We only saw that teaser that happened about 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was, in which the initiative was announced. And we don't know what's going on with that game. All we know is that I believe what company is actually helping them out. Oh yeah, that's right. I think it was from Embracer Group. It was Eidos Interactive, and I think it's Eidos Interactive. I think it was. That's helping them out to finish the development of that game. State of Decay 3, which I heard is going to be using Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts going on. Not to mention, this is actually some news. Yeah, let's talk about it. To be honest with you, I'm a little upset about this too. So I'm just going to juxtapose this particular conversation into Xbox's dilemma. Staten. Let's find out what's going on with let's go on with Joseph Staten. Oh man. Yeah. So it turns out that Joseph Staten is actually this is actually from let's see, from Games Radar. I'm kind of beside myself because I actually heard this news, and I'm a not a huge Halo fan. I do love Halo. I played Halo ever since the beginning. I played Halo when we had the LAN parties. I played Halo 2 when it first came out for the OG Xbox. When it went online, we were actually able to play people online. It revolutionized first-person shooter games. The music is still epic. And then of course Halo 3 when an Xbox 360, it was supposed to be a launch title but got delayed, and then it came out for the 360 later on, and it ended up being pretty much supposed to be the swan song for the Halo series. And then Halo 4, when it was kind of the changing of hands, so to speak, where and after OGST and Halo Reach, those were like the last few games that actually had that Bungie had their hands on, and then they passed along this torch to a studio called 343 studio 343, and most of the staff actually moved on to Bungie, because of course they made Bungie wanted to be independent. They wanted to create their own thing. I believe Microsoft is one that actually told them no to actually move. They didn't want them to move on to a new thing, and that new thing was actually turned out to be Destiny. Destiny, it was ambitious. It was a completely different thing, and of course Sony, they jumped to the chance and they actually said, "Hey, why don't you make this game for the PlayStation 4, and we'll actually market it and everything, and we'll put it out there for you and everything. We'll help you with the marketing." Boom, 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 bada bing, and that's what happened. And Joseph Staten, I believe, was pretty much like he was a part of Bungie for a little while, and then of course Microsoft hired Joseph Staten again because for the I believe it was the Xbox One. This is Xbox One, not Xbox. They were actually working on a new Halo. Now everyone knows that the new Halo was supposed to be Halo Infinite, and it was actually in limbo, and there was a lot of things happening. They had the Unreal Engine. They were using Unreal Engine for the Halo series, and then of course they actually decided to create this new engine, which was the Slipspace engine. The Slipspace engine, reason why everything kind of fell through. Then the pandemic happened, and then everyone had to pretty much do most of the development from home. All of the equipment was actually in their offices. They weren't able to exchange or move all of the information back and forth and everything in record time. And then they had this horrible showing at one of the E3s, and that's where we actually got Craig from. Yes, that's right, Craig. One of the creatures, whatever. I mean, and who could forget, right? And then of course Joseph Staten, he was part of Xbox Studios, and of course Joseph, got invited, was invited back to the studio after I believe it was Ross, Betty Ross, I think it was right. I think what it was. She actually decided to take a sabbatical for her family. Of course, we don't know where. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate about anything. But look what happened. Right? Everything was just in shambles. Let's just put it this way. Okay, long story short, everything was in shambles. Joseph Staten, I think, what actually kind of right the ship in a sense. Helped with the collision of the story to make sure that the story actually was cohesive. and also helped with a little bit with the multiplayer. And the multiplayer was a success for a short period of time. Problem was there wasn't enough content to keep people interested. So of course it had a huge spike, about 100 and 250,000 participants, what have you. And then there was a huge drop. And of course, keeping people interested was not hard. Then of course they had that one of the stories that actually one of the, I think it was one of the events that happened. They didn't do it just once. They did the event twice to kind of say, okay, well, we tried it once. Well, let's try it. Let's try it again. Maybe people didn't get it. But no one was interested. Neither was I. I was actually bored out of my mind. I really felt like I was kind of just grinding for no apparent reason. There wasn't enough maps. There wasn't enough things to do. They finally kind of helped, fixed a couple of things. They nerfed a few guns that people were very upset about. Then they actually gave some guns a buff, which this is not what we were asking for. We really were asking for more reasons to come back. We wanted more maps. We wanted more things to do. We actually wanted that multiplayer online ability for the campaign, and which they promised. And we were waiting for Forge, and Forge took too long. And then they finally got Forge, and Forge got pushed back. And then they had Phase 1 and Phase 2 and Phase 3 and Phase whatever. I'm exhausted. I think that's what happened to Joseph. Joseph actually kind of got frustrated because there was no cohesiveness. There was no camaraderie. There was. I have a feeling that there was just a lot of turmoil happening over 343, and I think Joseph probably had enough of it. I'm speculating. I'm not. This is not exactly what happened. I'm just speculating. And right now, it's season 3 is great. I mean, the events are great. The maps are fantastic. The rotation is actually very good. It keeps my interest. Some of the cosmetics and everything are amazing. We want more. I believe shout out to Mr. Boomstick XL. By the way, a big shout out to his show. It's at the show Double Barrel Gaming. It's actually 5 nights a week. He has breakfast with Boom and the lunch break special, and of course the one-on-ones that he has also, and then of course Primetime Gaming, and then of course the Xbox podcast, the Xbox so man, the guy's doing it. He's I actually remember him from a long time ago. I actually back in Yonkers, when we had Dragon's Den, we had the big Nathans over there, the amusements where they had the arcade and the big arcade. Dude, that was my stomping grounds. And this is also before when they had Funko Land and all that. Man, let me tell you something. Good times were back then. Why? That's the reason why I call myself the old school gamer, because back then we actually had fun. Gaming. We didn't care about if you were a PlayStation dude. We didn't care if you were an Xbox dude. We didn't care if you were well, back then it was actually more of like a Genesis or Sega or Nintendo kind of person. We didn't care. All we cared about was the games. I loved Funko Land. Funko Land was amazing. Trading games and stuff like that. Okay, I digress. I'm digressing again, but you know what? Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. So yeah. So Joseph Staten, right now, rumor has it that Joseph Staten might be cause a little bit of a console war-ish transition. Now, take that with a grain of salt. I have a feeling that he might be joining a rival company. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but right now a lot of sources are telling me that that might be the case, and that case might be that he might be joining back with the guys at Bungie to help them with their new online on live. I believe live, yeah, live initiative for a few live games that Bungie is actually working on, including something new for Destiny 3, most likely, or I believe there's 16 different live games, live games that are going to be coming out soon. That may, I'm saying may, be coming out soon. So I don't know. I'm a little, I'm on the fence. I don't know if that's true or not, and okay, in my biased heart, I hope not. But I right now I see that this might be the case. I don't know. I feel like Joseph Staten, really got exhausted. I think, I would be too, because right now there was just solid there was no solid teamwork there. That's it's just a fact. The Halo Infinite launch was a disaster. It was a disaster. I mean, there's no way around it. I did finish the game. I finished the game. I actually did play it again with some friends when they finally made the online co-op. We did with 4 players, of course, and we played the legendary with all skulls activated, and we finished the entire game. And yeah, I got the achievement. Um, I don't know. I'm I'm little torn and little upset that did not do what they were meant to do. And I'm worried about what the state of Halo Infinite is going to be in the future. But anyways, I will be right back with another commercial break. See you soon.
Introducing GoldenEye 007. The first Bond adventure. Where you direct the action.
Do you know how to use one of these?
Shot by shot by shot. Load a rumble pack and see how it feels when 007 meets Nintendo 64. See the next Bond movie.
Yep, and I am back again. Yes, if you haven't done it already, please, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. So if you actually love my content and I'm going to keep on bringing it to you, why don't you just go ahead and then just slide that finger over there and hit that button for me. Have you done it? You got it done? Good. Now, on to the main event. It turns out EA is up to his shenanigans again. Well, I think they have. Let's talk about something that I'm a little kind of frustrated about, especially the way this industry has really been grinding my gears, so to speak. And we're talking about EA. This is courtesy of GameSpot. The article has been written by Jenny Zhang. Well, as it quotes, the decade-long push to get Alice Asylum, a theoretical third game in the Alice series, has ended, announced developer American McGee. Now, if you're not familiar with who American McGee is, they are a company that created some amazing stories that deals with the Alice in Wonderland lore. It's more of the darker side of it, dealing with psychosis and also medical, and therapeutic instances. Basically, the psychotic mind of Alice and her wild imagination, so to speak. But it says after the completion of the Alice Asylum Design Bible, and it was a huge document containing concept art, core game design concepts, and a narrative goals. McGee said he resumed talks with EA, or Electronic Arts, the company that owns Alice's IP, to see if EA will be willing to either fund Alice Asylum or license the IP out. Then, of course, American McGee posted something on Twitter, and it quotes, Alice Asylum has reached the end. After several weeks of review, EA has come back with a response regarding funding and or licensing for Alice Asylum. Alice had a good run, but the dream is over. Now, as you can tell, they also had a little Patreon. The Patreon has a post, and it shows on the Patreon, it shows their tiers and everything like that. And now it looks like they actually locked it to show. Look at these tiers. These tiers are awesome. They got unlock the rewards. They have the thank you. They have video credits. You can put your name. They get your name in there. They actually had a certificate, inmate certificate that they put in there. Then of course they have direct access to the new game. You actually could be a part of the builds of the game. And of course, you have the 3-for-1 arts. You have the arts they give you. Cheshire Cat and monthly art prints that you can actually get, and so on and so on. And as you can tell, it says right here, this is actually 4 days ago. This is because the news actually just broke pretty much like a day ago, but this is something I'm actually very upset. I'm a little emotional about this because I really love American McGee's work. I love their games. I actually played them. I played the first and the second one. I love both of the games. It burns me up to actually see a big corporation such as EA actually have the gall, just don't have the vision to actually give a company such as American McGee an opportunity to actually kind of say, hey, let's go on to the next chapter, or let's make something a little bit more, on edge, and just all the people who actually love this type of lore. You don't know exactly where they're going to be going with that. I mean, and okay, I'm getting a little emotional. Let's move on. Okay, it says an end of an adventure. End of the adventure. It says, dear insane children, over the past few years, your support has made possible the constant stream of creative output by a team of artists, writers, designers, modelers, and producers. That output result in the Asylum's Design Bible, a 414-page PDF containing the complete vision for a third chapter in Alice's video game adventures. So that Bible supposedly was going to be a prelude to the new game that they were going to design in the future. So it shows the artworks and what have you. Let's continue. Shortly after the completion of the Design Bible, it says, I resumed talks. That meaning the the head designer of American McGee. Resumed talks with Electronic Arts regarding the efforts to get a new game made. They were presented with the Design Bible and a production plan produced in collaboration with Virtuos Games, outlining the schedule, budget, team, and designs for the new game's production. As after several weeks of review, EA has come back with a response, it says right here, regarding funding and or the licensing for Alice Asylum. On the question of funding, now this is what really grinds my gears. On the question of funding, they have ultimately decided to pass on the project based on an internal analysis of the IP, market conditions, and details of the production proposal. On the question of licensing, they replied that Alice is an important part of EA's overall game catalog, and selling or licensing it isn't something they are prepared to do right now. Now, this really boils me up. EA is not willing to actually give that IP up, but yet they don't want to go for a sequel. That doesn't make any logical sense to me. Why would you actually not want to license out the IP, or allow the IP to be licensed out to, let's just say, another developer? They said they actually really like it, and they love the fact that it's actually part of their catalog, but you're not willing to give it up. So you're telling me that you rather have the game be dormant. You don't promote it. You don't really promote it anymore. It is part of the EA Play, obviously. It's actually part of Game Pass because of EA Play. But yet you just don't want to license out the IP, so a sequel can't go out. Right now, we are in the next generation of consoles with new technologies, new techniques, ray tracing, environmental, ambient collusion, ambient what's it called? Ambient yeah, what's it called? Ambient whatever. The lighting, the new techniques, the facial animations. We have all these new technologies with Unreal Engine 5, and you're gonna sit back and pretty much say, "Oh, the 360 era, that's it. What was actually for the PC? Yeah, that's pretty much as far as you want to put it." The ideas that they have are brilliant. Look at the artwork. The artwork It's gorgeous. It's amazing. The Bible, the Bible itself, um, it looks great. I was actually looking forward to it. I was actually excited when I saw that Bible. I was like, oh my gosh, look at the artwork. Look at this. I mean, I can imagine what the new game is going to be like. Oh, but no. Oh, EA, Mr. Big EA. Oh, we know what's better for our gamers. And oh yeah, you're so sure of yourselves, right? You haven't made games since, God, when was the last game that you actually made? Need for Speed. No, don't get me wrong. Need for Speed looks and plays fantastic. You know, but Madden, FIFA, you know, come on. The PGA tours. Is that all you actually think about? You know, you want the games to be monetized for it to actually go anywhere. You know, I mean, look, what if an idea was you could be able to get new cosmetics? I mean, look at all the outfits that you can actually get in the game. Look at all the outfits. The outfits. Oh, look. Check this out. Here's a picture. Look at this. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at this. You know, and Virtuous and everything was actually going to help out with that with the AAA International Game Development Studio. They were actually Mysterious Studios. They were going to help with Alice 3. Look at this. I mean, come on, man. EA, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You even have a narrative. It had a little PDF and a free download that actually explains. Did you watch the video? I don't think you did. To be honest with you, I don't think you did. I think you actually sat right there, put your fingers inside your ears, and went la 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 la. I don't see nothing. La 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 la. I don't have a vision. La la la. I just want to play more Madden. No, I want more Madden. I want more PGA. I want. You serious? But you're kidding me. You are kidding me. So I don't know, guys, gals, gamers, fans of American McGee, hear me out. Hear me out. I want you to do the best you can. I want you to blow it up. I want you to go on whatever you need to go on. Go on to your sites. Go on to your channels. Whatever you want to do. And I want you to kind of blow them up. I actually want you not blow them up. You know what I mean. I want you to shout out and say something. I mean, and call them out. I think EA needs to be called out on this one, because this right here is exactly a brilliant story that actually does deserve, you know, a sequel. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the many designs. Look at all these things. This is exactly all the designs they were actually going to be putting in that new game. Look at that. Look at the Cheshire Cat. Look at that. I mean, come on, man. I'm upset. I'm actually upset. I'm upset because this is actually another StarCraft, another StarCraft Ghost thing. You know, they had an idea. It sounded like a good deal on paper. They actually have and then it gets shot down. Why? Because they feel like it's not financially feasible, and it's not going to, it's not part of our initiative. Sorry, but it's not part of our budget. But if you want to, you may be able to maybe build some cosmetics for our football players, or maybe even look, I don't know. am I just being am I being irrational about it? I don't think I am. I don't think I'm being irrational at all. I think that this right here is an example of corporate greed. Of narrow-mindedness, of not expanding the gaming landscape. And this I think this is actually a problem with not just certain games like this. We're talking about gaming in general, which is actually something that I actually want to talk about. Let's get into this. All right. Right now, in the gaming landscape, there are a lot of amazing, fantastic games that came out. Hogwarts Legacy, amazing game. Atomic Heart, a fantastic story, that has a brilliant background. And then you have Hi-Fi Rush, which is actually an amazing rhythm action game. With the brilliant minds of Tango Gameworks. Ghostwire Tokyo, and it just came out. I mean, that looks like it's a very interesting, type of game. And there's a lot of indie games out there that are also very interesting, But the thing is, now that, it turns out that you just want to be safe. You just want to be safe because it gets you money. Like the Fortnite phase, it's still embedded into your soul. That Fortnite became this huge phenomenon, and you just want to latch. Everyone wants to latch on. I mean, that's what happened to Halo Infinite. They fell into that trap. They fell into that phase. Oh, we have to be like Fortnite. We have to make it a live service so we can actually keep our gamers and have them spend money, so that way we can actually make a huge profit on the games. No. Fortnite was a passion project. If you look back, Fortnite was a passion project. I remember when Fortnite was actually going to be a pretty much like almost like a what is it called? What do you call those? A fort protection game, basically. Where you actually sit right there and you build your fort and you have to stop the hordes from coming in. That was what Fortnite was going to be. Fortnite kind of changed their direction, and they actually created this mini game, in a sense, made it a free to play, a multiplayer game, where like 100 versus 100 players on the stage and everything, and basically the last one who's standing and everything, gets victory royale, right? PUBG, which you have to pay for, obviously. PUBG was another one. I mean, that was lightning in the bottle, Fortnite took that idea and they actually made it better. And then, of course, everybody wanted to copy. They wanted to copy the same idea, and and so on and so forth. And it kind of ruined games in a sense. Call of Duty, same thing. Call of Duty actually fell into that trap. Fell into that same formula. Oh, let's make a game where everybody can come, get into the game, and the last one standing wins, whatever. I just feel like, some of the companies, and that's not all of them. Some of the companies are lost. So I think they actually just kind of lost their way. And I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it's exhausting to kind of see games like that. I mean, there are interesting games like Naraka the Blade. Amazing game. I mean, actually, it's it's not a shooter. It's more of a like a slasher. With you can be able to destroy each other and with mystical powers and stuff like that. And the arena shrinks, and you get different attacks. Of course, there's also a single player campaign as well, so that actually saves it. And And of course, there's other games. I mean, there's MMORPGs that people actually kind of fell off of. I mean, look at what happened. I mean, look what happened to Neverwinter. I mean, look what happened to World of Warcraft. I guess people just are kind of, they have this short term type of gameplay that they like. They like instant games. They jump in, jump out. I don't know. But games that we used to play are actually old, whether old becomes new again. Resident Evil 4 remake, fantastic. It's still the same. It's the same game, but remastered. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful game. Resident Evil 2, completely remastered from the ground up. Resident Evil 3, remastered from the ground up. And so forth. But I don't know. Maybe I am just an old school type of guy that actually loves to play all different types of video games, and I don't want games to fall into a trap. I don't want games to fall into this trap of repetitive types of games that have the same formula that all these companies wanted to get into. And I'm glad, that certain companies. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't like Sony as a company, but I like PlayStation because the games, they make great products. They do. The games are fantastic. They are. I still haven't got my hands on the PlayStation 5 yet. Hopefully soon. It keeps on eluding me. They say, "Oh, the PlayStation 5s are available." Yeah. Every single time I just don't have the money for it. I'm hoping soon. But you know what? And Nintendo's still doing their thing. Nintendo has amazing games. A lot of RPGs are coming out there. I don't want to get into the logistics of a lot of things, which I'm a little upset about. Another topic that I'm actually going to be talking about, later this week, on Friday. Actually, I'm actually going to talk about it. No, not Friday. Friday. I will be. Oh yes, Friday. I'm actually going to be going to see the Super Mario Brothers movie. Yes, right. I'm going to be going to see that with my son and my wife. We're going to be going to see the movie, and I will actually give you my thoughts and tell you how I feel about the movie. I'm actually avoiding all spoilers, and unfortunately, somebody spoiled the song that Bowser sings, so I'm not going to repeat what the song actually is. I'm a little frustrated that they actually spoiled that for me. I would thought that would have been pretty awesome. But I digress once again. But let's do a little bit of cleanup. Of course, once you haven't subscribed already, please hit that like button and subscribe button, please, and also leave some comments and everything. Tell me how you feel about the show. Tell me what you would like to see. Tell me what you would like to hear. Tell me what topics I should come up with. If you actually find out something, if you find out a rumor or something to speculate about, please drop a comment. Go to my Twitter page. That is HUD_XERO. Go ahead and drop something inside my DM. Let me know what's going on. You can also follow me there. This next Monday, I'm actually going to be playing some old school games. I'm going to be playing, I believe, I'm actually going to jump on Otogi 1. That's for the OG Xbox. And I'm also going to be playing some Jet Set Radio Future. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play all the songs. I think there's actually a lot of soundtrack that might be licensed, but I'm not gonna take the risk anyway, because you know what? I don't care about the monetization. I really don't. All I care about is that that you guys get entertained. So that's gonna be on Retroller Mondays, every single Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I play all different types of old school games that are absolutely fun and amazing, games that I actually like, and if you like them too, or if it's a game that you've never tried before and you actually see me play and you're actually interested in it, please, you can also drop a line. I'm actually going to drop a line on my Twitch page. I'm actually doing a couple of adjustments, so once my Twitch page is completed, I'm actually going to drop a line and let you know about that as well. So, anyways, that is the show tonight. Just wanted to tell you guys that, I love you guys very, very much. And I want you guys to keep on gaming. Don't worry about others actually thinking about what you like and what you play or what you play on. Always remember that gaming is for everyone. Not just for the few, but for the many. So take care, and like I tell all my friends, stay awesome and game on.